Hey there, this is Akshit Madan and welcome back to day 25 of 30 days 30 concepts of Flutter series. In the last part, we have seen Firebase authentication using email and password, and in this video, I'm going to show you the Cloud Firestore. So if I go to my Firebase project, so as you know that in last part only we created this project, and in the authentication you can see the email through which I logged in my application, and you can see this email over here. Now we are going to set up our Firestore database. So Firebase is a NoSQL database, and it will be clear to you if you know the difference between SQL and NoSQL. We will not be covering that part over here. So let's create a database. So what is a database? So database is a collection, or it's a bucket of your data. So in this thing only, in this bucket only, the user data will be stored. And in this NoSQL database, what we do is we create collections, and inside those collections we have lots of documents, right? So in the same way we are going to do it over here also. So we need to start it in test mode, and if you are going to publish your application, so you can go it in production mode. So let's click on next, then click on enable. So this is my Cloud Firestore. Again, one more thing we are having is real-time database, but for now in this video we will be restricting it to the Cloud Firestore, right? So now let's just create a new file in my widgets called day 25, and if you want all these 24 parts, you can just check out the playlist, and you can also get the code from the link in the description, the GitHub repository. So in the widgets I'm going to create a file called day25.dart. So in the last part we were coding this authentication part in the functions folder. We have auth functions, right? So in the functions folder only I'm going to create one more file called data functions.dart or database functions. Yes, database functions.dart. So in the auth functions we have written all the functions like sign up and sign in. In the database functions we will be writing the functions to create, retrieve, delete and update, right? So let's go to day 25, and you can see that my database is ready. So inside this you can see that you have to first create a collection. So inside this collection we will be having a lots of documents. One more thing we need to do is go to rules, and by default there are some different rules, but we need to set the rules as if true. So read and write, that means anybody who is accessing this database can read and write to this database. So I'm just going to write true over here, then click on publish. It simply means that anyone can have the authority to read and write in this database, right? But when you will be going in production mode, you have to write your own security rules, but that we will not be covering it over here. Let's first yes, so I'm in my day25.dart. So let's first of all create import material.dart, and let's create a stateful widget called let's create a simple widget called database options, right? So inside this we will be having a simple scaffold, and after scaffold we will be having the app bar, then title, and let's give the title as text as database options. Perfect. Now let's go to main.dart, and you can see okay, so we are returning day 24 authentication by default. So whenever my app will be running, I'll be seeing this day 24 authentication. But we need to do something over here also, because every time the user will be opening the app, I don't want that he should be seeing this authentication, right? So what I'll do is I'll remove this, and instead of home I'm going to return a stream builder. And after this stream, my stream will be Firebase authentication, Firebase auth dot instance dot auth state changes. That means if the authentication state of my application is changing, then I want to change the widget also, right? Or home also. So let's create a builder. Builder will be having context, comma snapshot. So if my snapshot dot has data, that means the user is already logged in or signed up, then what I will do is return day 25. Okay, it is not there. Let's see. Okay, I put the name as database options, so let's do that only. Database options. database options. Let's put the semicolon, and else if the user is not logged in, or if the snapshot is not having any data, then I'm going to return that day 24 authentication. Perfect. So let's save it. Yes, so I think I'm not logged in. Okay, so let's just refresh the app. Yes, so you can see database options because in the last part I was already logged in, right? So we can also provide in day 24, we can also provide a logout button in the app bar. So let's do that also. In the app bar you can define, let me just increase the font size. Yes, so in the app bar you can define actions. In the actions you can define an icon button. Let's put this, and let's put the icon as icons dot leave. Let's put any icon, doesn't matter. And in the on pressed, I'm going to keep this on press as a sync, and let's put await firebase auth dot instance dot sign out. Perfect. So as soon as I'll be clicking, okay, I need to put this thing, actions thing, in the date 25 thing, not in authentication, right? So let's go to day 25. Let's in the app bar, let's define this, and let's import Firebase authentication. Let's save it. So you can see this icon. As soon as I will be clicking on this icon, I'll be logged out. So let's not click it now, we will click it later. So now I need to define 4 options: create, update, retrieve, and delete. So let's create those options in the body. So let's go to body. Body will be having a container. In the container, let's keep it child. The child, let's keep column. Let's give children. In the children, I'll be having elevated buttons. On press, I'll be redirecting the user to some other page, and let's keep the child as a simple text, and text will be create. Okay, so let's put a comma over here. Let's keep the elevated button. Let's keep 4 elevated buttons. So first one will be to add something to your database. Second one will be to update something. Third one will be to retrieve, and fourth one will be for deleting. Let's save it. So you can see 4 buttons over here. So let's keep the body as center. Perfect. And let's keep the column as main axis alignment dot center. Perfect. Okay, so now when I will be clicking on create, I want to add something to my database. When I will be clicking on update, I want to update my database. When I will be clicking on retrieve, I want to retrieve all the documents or every collection from my database. And when I will be clicking on delete, I want to delete a particular document. Perfect. So everything is ready now. So let's try to add functions. I think I have added the Firebase. Okay, I have not added the Firebase storage plugin. So how can we add that? So the plugin is Cloud Firestore. So this will allow you to add the functions or import the Firebase Cloud Store libraries. So let me just save it. So the plugin is successfully imported. Now let's go to database functions and let's write our first function. So I'm going to call my first function as create something, or create, let's keep it create, and let's keep it async. And now what I want to do is, whenever this function is called, I want to create a collection in my database with a particular document. So let's keep it await Firebase Firestore. So this is the thing I was talking about. If you will not import or if you will not add this Cloud Firestore dependency, then you will not be able to use this Firebase Firestore.instance. Perfect. Dot collection. So it is going to create a collection, and inside this collection, I want to create a collection called, let's say pets. Perfect. So now inside this collection, I want to create a document. So let's create a document called let's say my pet, or let's say Tom. Perfect. So in this document, I'll be having the information. I can store the information about Tom pet in the form of JSON. So let's create dot set. Let's say the first field is name. The name of the pet is Tom. Let's keep the let's keep animal, and the animal is it's a dog. And let's keep the age. The age is, let's say, 12, and age will be an integer, so let's keep it 12. Simple, not in strings. Let's put the semicolon. So what will happen is, as soon as I'll be clicking, or I'll be calling this create function, and remember that it's an async function because it will take some time to update the database, right? So create function will be called, and it will be creating a collection called pets. Inside this pets, it will be creating a document called Tom, and inside this Tom document, it will be saving this data. But currently it's all static, but later I'm going to show you how you can create everything dynamically, right? So let's just save it for now, and in the day 25 I'm going to call this create function. Simple. And as soon as the database is updated, I am going to print database updated. Perfect. Let's save it. Let's go to our debug console, and let's try to just refresh this, and let's click on create function. So we are getting an error, missing plugin, convert Firebase interface. I think we need to refresh. I think we need to completely rerun the app. So let's do it. So now my app is completely restarted. Now let's try to click on create, and let's wait for some time. Nothing is print. Yes. So now you can see the message database updated. Now let's go to Firebase, Firestore, or Firestore database, and let's click on this restart button or refresh button of my Chrome, and you will be able to see the collection pets. Inside pets, we have a document called Tom, and inside this Tom, we are having the data. So now this collection can have a lots of documents, not only one. So what we can do is we can write dynamic functions or dynamic data. So this create will take strings. First it will take the collection name, second it will take the doc name, and it will take the data. So my data will be name, so it will be name of the pet, then it will take the animal, and it will take the age, and this age will not be string, that's why I'll keep it int age. Perfect. Now instead of this collection, I'll be using the collection name. Instead of this doc, I'll be using the doc name. The name will be the name I'm getting from the user. The animal will be animal, and this age will be age. Perfect. Now you'll be able to see the error in day 25 because we need to provide the parameters. So let's provide the parameters. First thing is the collection name. So collection name will remain same as pets, which will be a string. Then doc name will be, let's say I want to keep kitty, and the third was the name of the pet. So let's say the name of my cat is Jerry, and let's say its animal is cat, and the age is 5 years. Perfect. No error now. So let's write it something like this, and now if I will just click on this create button, you can see database updated, and you can see over here kitties. So for documents you don't need to refresh it, but if you are creating a new collection, then you need to refresh it. So you can see kitty is added, and 5, cat and Jerry are added perfectly. So what you can do is you can also provide a text field over here, and whatever the data that user is writing in the text field, you can provide to this function create, and you will be able to update your database, right? Perfect. Now what I want to do is I want to update my Tom. Let's say my Tom is now 14 years of age, so I want to update my database. Perfect, right? So what I can do is in the database functions, I'll write update, and this thing is also going to take then the collection name it will take. So let's keep the collection name. So I have to tell the Firebase to which collection I want to go, to which document I want to go, and which field I want to go, right? So let's do that way. String collection name, then doc name, and just so inside the doc name I want to go to the field name. So let's say field, and let's say new field value, and this new field value will be variable, because I don't know whether this new field is an integer or string, because this can be age also and this can be string also. So that's why I need to go to collection name, then document name, then field, and then the new field value. So this will be an async, and then I want to write await Firebase Firestore dot instance dot collection name dot document name dot update the field, and the field will be new field value. So what it is telling, okay, I did not write that JSON thing. Perfect. Now you can see, let me just, yes, so you can see Firebase Firestore.instance.collection.document, then field and new field value. So let me just save it, and in the day 25 in the update thing, this is my update button, I can call the update function. So collection name, I want to go to pets, so let's keep it pets. Then document, I want to go to the document name of Tom. Then field is my age, and new age is, let's say, 14. So let's print a semicolon, and let's save it. And now one more thing in the database functions, as my database will be updated, I want to print fields updated. Let's complete it, and let's see the debug console. And now let me click on update button, and you can see fields updated, and you can see over here the age is 14. Amazing, right? So I can do one more thing. Let's try to update it again. Now I want to update the name. Let's say now Tom is not a dog, it's a tiger. So let's do that. So instead of field will be age, it will be animal, and it's not 14, it will be a string called tiger. Let's save it. Let's click on update button, and you can see the tiger is over here. Amazing. So this was how you can update your Firebase database, right? So now we have seen create and update. Now let's see how you can retrieve. So this retrieve, we are going to currently see delete thing, because retrieve, I want to create a separate video using stream builders and future builders, right? So I'm not going to teach you retrieve over here, because I think that will take a lot of time, because we will be using list view.builders to retrieve all the documents, right? All the documents in the list view. So I will be creating a new separate video day 26 on retrieve. Let's see how we can delete a value. So in database functions, I will be creating a new function called delete, and I will be taking string collection name. And one more thing, you cannot delete the complete collection, you have to delete documents, right? So let's create doc name, and as soon as I am getting the collection name and document, I want to write a simple function, await Firebase Firestore.instance dot collection name dot doc name dot delete. Perfect. So I'll be printing document deleted, and let's try to call this function from day 25 on delete. So it will be delete, collection name is pets, document name is, let's delete kitty. It's kitty, right? Yes, kitty. So let's print the semicolon, and let's save it, and let's restart it. And now if I'm clicking on delete, you can see document deleted, and you can see kitty is gone. Perfect. Amazing, right? So this was how you can create, update and delete your values. In the next part, I'll be using retrieve, how you can retrieve all the documents inside your app and we will be using Stream Builder, Future Builders, and ListView.builders. So I hope you like this part, and I hope this added value to your Flutter journey. Till the next content, keep coding, keep innovating, and thanks a lot.